It was the kind of cold, still morning where sound carries over water. I was halfway through frying eggs in my little kitchen when I heard tires crunching over the gravel drive. Too many tires for one vehicle, and too fast for a neighbor dropping by, so I peeked through the blinds and froze. 3 black SUVs rolled up, no plates, doors swinging open before the engines even cut, and out jumped 6 men in mismatched police gear. Badges swinging on cheap chains, pistols holstered, but hands twitching like they couldn't wait to use them, led by none other than Karen, the HOA president, who had been after my cabin from the day I bought it, claiming it was an eyesore on community land, despite my deed proving otherwise. She'd lost every legal attempt, every fine, had been tossed out, but clearly she'd decided to settle it another way. "We're here to enforce a demolition order." One of the fake cops barked, waving a clipboard with a paper that looked like it had been printed off a template from Google. Karen, smug and triumphant, shouted for them to clear the place, so they could set the burn charges. My stomach turned cold, not from fear, but from the sheer audacity, because I'd seen bad actors before in my years working private security. And these guys screamed amateur mercenaries. What they didn't know was that the county had an active task force investigating impersonation and property fraud in the area. And just 2 days prior, a friend of mine, the commander of the regional SWAT unit, had called to say they might swing by to talk about suspicious activity tied to the HOA. As Karen's thugs stomped up my porch, I hit the silent alarm linked to my off-grid security system, which not only triggered recording from every camera on my property, but pinged the sheriff's office directly. One of the men started dousing my deck with gasoline. Another kicked at the front door, but before they could breach, the low roar of a diesel engine echoed up the drive, followed by the crunch of tactical boots on gravel.
Out.
From the tree line came 3 matte black Bearcat armored trucks. It's the kind that make even hardened criminals rethink their life choices. And at the front in full tactical gear was my SWAT commander friend, helmet off, eyes locked on the scene. "Step away," from the cabin. His voice boomed through the loudspeaker. The effect was instant. The fake cops froze. Karen's mouth fell open. One of the mercs actually dropped his gas can and bolted toward the lake. In seconds, SWAT officers had them prone in the dirt, weapons confiscated. IDs checked, and it turned out every single one of them had outstanding warrants ranging from assault to arson. Karen tried to backpedal, claiming she'd hired them as a private cleanup crew. But the body cam footage, combined with my cabin's CCTV, told the real story. She had orchestrated a break-in and arson on private property, using men dressed as law enforcement to intimidate me, watching her get cuffed, real cuffs, this time, while my friend read her rights, was something I will replay in my mind for years. The aftermath was swift and satisfying. Charges of conspiracy, Key impersonating an officer, attempted arson, and destruction of property stacked so high her lawyer could barely keep up. The HOA, desperate to distance themselves, issued a statement condemning her actions and removed her from the board within 48 hours. Neighbors who had once sided with her sheepishly approached me, some offering apologies, others bringing pie, and a few asking if they could help rebuild the deck where gasoline had been splashed. By the time the smoke, figurative and literal, had cleared, the cabin was still standing. I'd installed a reinforced steel gate across my driveway, and the SWAT team had used the footage as training material for spotting fake officers. Every now and then, I still get texts from my commander friend with a screenshot from that day. Karen's face mid-scream as she was hauled into the back of a real patrol car, with the caption, "Best HOA meeting ever." As for me, I learned 2 things. Always know who owns your land and always make friends with the people who drive the Bearcats.